To dismantle scrapped vehicles for parts is truly a trade of immense profit. Greetings, brothers. Today we come to behold this 2019 model, an expired Challenger, how it is turned from waste into treasure. From it, not only was the purchase cost recovered, but a net gain of no less than $4,000 was earned. And moreover, an engine and a transmission were obtained freely. First, this is by no means an ordinary Dodge Challenger. It is a 2019 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. That is to say, its high-performance variant. The original output of this machine reaches 485 horsepower. Yet, they acquired this car for only $11,200. After opening the car door, one may observe the internal structure of the body. The driver's seat locking mechanism appears to be damaged, thus it keeps rebounding forward without cease. Let us examine some of the interior modifications. The transmission shifter has been replaced, changed into a mechanical structure, yet the transmission itself was not replaced. As for the interior, many may think certain trim components are exceedingly valuable. But in truth, in Lee's view, the interior of this car is not of great worth, for this model has many variants, and their interiors are largely the same. This small hardware kit at the front is sufficient to bring in $150. Moreover, the vehicle still has its keys. Later, one may attempt to start the engine, because this car, when they first inspected it, they discovered it had been modified extensively. A massive intercooler was installed at the front, and during the installation of this, due to the thickness of the front crash beam, the original one being rather thick in terms of size, there was simply no way to fit the intercooler in. Thus, they replaced the thick crash beam with a thinner one. And furthermore, behind this, you may also see a mechanically supercharged unit that is slightly deformed. The piping of the supercharger has already been crushed by impact. Pretty much, this side has been damaged. As for what follows, he intends to slightly replace this section of piping. The routing here remains exceedingly clear, leading all the way to the lower end of the This supercharger, for Lee and his team, is somewhat regrettable, for one can plainly observe that it is slightly bent. The main body of the supercharger should have no great issue, yet the mounting bracket at the rear has already suffered deformation. It is quite evidently crooked indeed. Nevertheless, such modification kits are exceedingly costly, even if deformation has occurred after they remove it. So long as the main body is confirmed unharmed, it may still be disposed of for value. Here, one can also see additional pulleys, as well as the belt. The belt too, due to having suffered impact, and the idler wheel on the supercharger side becoming deformed, was thereby dragged slightly. A ProCharger kit of this sort for 6 at present. They intend to attempt dismantling all these components. The supercharger modification alone is worth over $9,000, or whatever the exact figure. It is somewhat hard to judge. But as stated earlier to everyone, this vehicle, for them, yielded the engine and transmission free of charge. Therefore, this supercharger is not counted within the vehicle's purchase cost. For this engine, they intend to retain. Here, they prepare to connect certain pipes to bring the entire intercooler system into a state of simple reconnection and restoration. Thus, thereafter, they may attempt to start the engine. Because this car at the auction center was also marked as being able to start, hence, regarding the starting process, there is no need for concern. perhaps many friends, regarding what we discussed today, the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. This particular version of the vehicle do not possess much understanding. Let us speak of it briefly. This vehicle is one forged by Dodge itself, crafted so that you may, upon the quarter-mile track, sprint forth in wild abandon, an officially modified machine. It is by no means a limited edition. Rather, this vehicle belongs to mass production. Its starting price is not overly dear, a little over $46,000. Here Lee has removed a fog lamp worth $40, and what this vehicle left on the right side is also a complete headlamp. Here lies the hood locking mechanism. We were indeed somewhat fortunate. In truth, at the outset, Lee had not expected that the right headlamp would be entirely unharmed. Such components as these usually sell with considerable speed, for their price is far lower than factory originals. This entire set is sold directly for $400, and the right side door, along with the side mirror, remains quite intact. The whole set, $400. The left side door, however, is somewhat regrettable, for after the left side sustained impact, the entire force of collision transmitted rearward along the body, causing deformation to appear in this door. Therefore, this door can no longer be sold as a dismantled part. As you may observe, the impact extended all the way to the strut mount and then propagated rearward along this direction. As for this side's door, they will not undertake extensive repair, nor sell it as a defective second-hand item. Instead, they choose to discard it outright. They directly opt to throw it away. At the rear end, it appears that now let us turn to the tail section. This portion can bring them substantial profit, such as the rear deck lid and the entire taillight assembly. All these items can be sold in great quantity. Within it, there is also a set of sway bars, opening the trunk floor panel. Beneath this, more items are discovered. Modified components. This should be a modified audio system. And there is also a fuel pump. More precisely, an auxiliary kit for the fuel pump. They suspect that this is related to modifications once performed on this vehicle. It appears the fuel injection volume of this car was increased. It is possible the fuel pump within the tank was also modified. If that is so, this entire set is worth no small sum. At present, they first have removed the audio system and the taillight assembly. However, of the audio system, they know little. Thus, they must later consult others, or search online to see roughly how much such modifications are worth. As for pricing these components, they generally set it at about half a factory price. This entire taillight assembly, items like these can also be sold off quickly. $350. Oh no. We must take a look at our elaborate finds. On both the left and right sides are subwoofers. These subwoofers belong to the custom-made sort. Do not imagine that custom means exceedingly. It is mainly their enclosure. This shell should be of a Type A fiberglass, laid up and molded by hand, thus allowing a perfect fit into the sides of the vehicle. Quite so. Later, Lee and his team also looked it up. That to make such a custom piece costs roughly $800, yet it requires a great deal of time and effort to create initially. The taillights are not as valuable as many might imagine, $100 a piece. For the production volume of this vehicle is high. High trim, mid trim, low trim. There are many parts that can be mutually interchangeable while removing the trunk lid. They recalled how previously, by accident, they had shattered the rear window of another car. This rear glass, if it can be removed intact, is also worth some money. The rear bumper is extremely intact, whole, and moreover, without any other modifications. Let us first make a small summary and roughly calculate for everyone the prices of these parts. Here is a fuel filler cap, as well as 2 side marker strips for the turn signals. Especially here are 2 blind spot monitoring modules. These 2 small items are worth quite a sum. Do not be misled by a single lamp costing only $100. If this small module were bought new, a single unit would cost nearly $600. Therefore, thereafter, they plan to sell that item at $200 each. Now, let us make a small calculation. These dismantled components are worth approximately $2,300. At present, this vehicle has only been partially dismantled. Next, Lee will continue the disassembly. The first to be removed are the seats. This entire seat system can also fetch a considerable sum, for many owners of older models may have seats that have suffered wear. When later replacing with new seats, they will consider acquiring newer style seats and installing a complete set directly. This car of theirs is rather decent. It is a 5-seat version, for according to this model range, there also exist 1-seat versions, 2-seat versions, and 5-seat versions. As for the interior trim, some of the other parts are not considered particularly valuable, yet they will still dismantle all these items. What especially concerns him at present is this gear selector. For, according to this vehicle, its automatic transmission system should be equipped with an electronic shift mechanism. As you can see, this wiring section is in fact the electronic mechanism portion. They have hidden it directly within the center armrest console. And then, what is essentially the shift mechanism was replaced with a mechanical lever. Everyone can see it is a purely mechanical structure. The same applies to the body first handle here. On this side are all the items removed from the interior, including some modified kits, yet you cannot know for certain how many stages this item has been flashed. It may also need to work in conjunction with the vehicle's control computer. Nevertheless, the items removed from the interior are indeed numerous, such as the curtain airbags and the audio system, as well as the instrument panel. There remains also the central control screen, and, in addition, a central armrest box. Yet, this entire set of items is not as precious as the crowd had imagined. When finally reckoned, it comes only to $3,500. Among them, the seat assembly alone is said to sell for over $700. After the chassis was upgraded, all may plainly behold that every control arm is crimson red. Heavens above! How many parts has this vehicle truly been altered with? According to what we uncovered online, this brand of control arms, such a set as this, would sell new for more than $2,000. Moreover, the number of modifications is abundant. After all, was dismantled. Take a look, everyone. To purchase a single piece alone may cost $200 or $300, or even as much as $500. As for a full set, I recall it to be around $2,300. However, the number of pieces therein seems fewer than in this set. Here, this entire set is sold bundled together for 1,3. Here, then, are displayed the dismantled rear suspension components, 2 shock absorbers, 2 half shafts, 2 original factory springs, and further, the wheel hubs and the lower control arms. Within this entire collection, the shock absorbers should be the quickest to find buyers, for the frequency of their replacement is slightly higher than that of other parts. After all, at times, certain shock absorbers may leak oil, and one may seek replacement parts, which are far cheaper than buying new outright. As for the left front suspension, one should harbor no great expectations. such as this protruding corner here, it may already have suffered deformation, including its upper control arm. And the link rods below, nearly all are ruined. The small drop links and stabilizer bar should still be sound. What is removed here is the steering tie rod. The steering tie rod appears free of major fault. Yet, when such damage has arisen, it is best to replace the left steering tie rod as well, for, at times, its measure of deformation is exceedingly slight. But as for the suspension system, on the right side, this entire set is wholly intact. In essence, this full assembly may be bundled together for sale. For vehicles of this sort, it is often that only one side meets with an accident, and thus the entire suspension set has a rather high chance of sustaining damage. $500 for the whole set. Here, the steering rack is being removed. Earlier, perhaps we forgot to mention that this vehicle's mileage stands at 26,966 miles. Converted into kilometers, it is 43,398 kilometers. This mileage may be deemed fair and ordinary. Now here, let us calculate how much value this entire set of removed components may fetch. $3,125. There is also a previous figure of 2,500. That 2,500 refers to the modified control arms, including the price of the wheels and tires. Yet he feels a measure of regret, for those wheels are not reproduction models. Thus, the wheels themselves hold little value. However, the condition of the tires above is quite good. This car likely had its tires replaced not long ago. Therefore, these tires, together with the wheels, and along with that set of modified parts, can sell for a fair sum. Thus arrives the quotation of 2,500. Here, the exhaust system has been removed. He did not choose to remove it as one complete section, but instead deemed it better to dismantle it in segments. For selling it, thus would yield greater value. Because within this assembly, besides two original factory exhaust valves, there is also one modified exhaust valve. In this manner, the exhaust note may assume many variations, yet here, he has decided that the modified valve may be installed upon another modified vehicle of his own. As for the rest, they shall be sold off gradually. The exhaust intake piping may also be sold, but it has not yet been removed, for the engine must first be taken down. This drive shaft here brought them some unexpected delight, for it is a fully aluminum drive. This drive shaft as well is a modified component, and not an original factory part. The original factory unit here once bore an additional bearing. Originally, a brand new set would cost over 1,000, yet for this drive shaft now in their possession, they resolved to set the price somewhat lower, though not excessively low, $950. Here, counting both the drive shaft and the exhaust, they may together fetch roughly $1,500. Here, the rear subframe and the differential have been removed. This set of components will generally not be sold as a single bundle. He intends to separate the rear subframe and the differential. First, to inspect whether the rear differential is a modified part. Upon examining the identification plate, it was found to be an original factory differential. The modification lies in the rear differential mount. This mount may be sold for $150. 262 rear diff. Such original factory diff are often sought by many challenger owners, especially those with older vehicles. The price is by no means low, $800. As for the rear subframe, it may still sell for $200 to $300. Now, let us perform a brief reckoning. These parts that have been removed may together sell for approximately $1,150. And at this moment, this vehicle has already reached a dismantled parts value of $14,085. Thus, it may be said the cost has been fully recovered. Next, within the engine bay, the front cooling fan assembly. is likewise a modified component. The factory version bears only a single large fan. Therefore, this cooling fan too may be sold separately. The radiator before it has suffered deformation. Such deformation renders it $250. And the front crash bar together with this are sold as one complete set. For this crash bar is a thinner, lightweight variant. This is a branded item. Thus, it may sell for $750. At present, the total value of the vehicle continues to surge upward. Here as well is a coolant reservoir. As for this coolant reservoir, he removeth it not from the engine any longer, for he hath already resolved that this engine shall be kept apart and preserved by himself. For, on his part, he also hath certain plans for modified vehicles. This engine is a choice most fitting. No harm is seen upon this side on this day. Here, however, some damaged things were discovered. Only a single ignition coil. This is a matter most small, indeed exceedingly minor. Then, as for the exhaust intake, upon the pipe there is slight deformation. Such a modified exhaust intake as this, he likewise intendeth not to keep, he meaneth to sell it away. Here they come to examine the fuel pump, for previously he discovered that this car had a modified component for the fuel pump, yet the fuel pump system remained factory original. This is somewhat regrettable, else it could have been sold together with this fuel pressure regulator behind it. Now it may only be sold singly for $200. Here also some lines have been removed, along with sundry small parts. Those two fuel pumps likewise may be sold, only that the sale shall be slower. As for the vehicle, the right front longitudinal beam, this entire piece may also be sold directly for coin, and it will leave the hand most swiftly. The parts removed afterward, in total, may reach about $2,000, and by this time, their entire value hath already reached $16,000. They spent about $12,000 to buy the car. Therefore, at this moment, it hath already yielded a profit of $4,000. Moreover, this count includeth not the transmission, nor the engine. As for the transmission of this car, they likewise intend to keep it for another colleague of his, also possesseth a modified vehicle. This transmission shall be of use thereto. And as for the engine, as yet he hath not resolved unto which car it shall be fitted. Thus, in the time to come, it shall first be kept aside. It is placed behind, upon the rack set aside solely for storing engines. This engine, indeed, for one such as he, a devotee of modifications, holdeth great allure. Many among you may think that they have truly gained much from this car, yet speaking only of these parts taken apart, $4,000 is but a profit seen before the eyes. For when selling such dismantled parts, certain components may require a very long cycle to sell, by their own account. So long as 85% can be sold, they are already well content. Thus, their final total profit is merely the earning of dismantling fees and the free gaining of one transmission, together with one modified engine. Very well. As for this episode, our discourse with you endeth here. Thanks are given to all friends for your viewing. Until the next program, we shall meet again.